Hey, this is Darren from Old Forge Brewing Company, and I've expanded our line of single hop pilsners. So the hop that I use for this beer is called Hallertau Blanc. Now this was bred at the Hull Research Institute in Bavaria, Germany. And the reason they called it Blanc is because it has a very distinct white wine flavor in addition to tropical and sweet fruit flavors. Now, they bred this in order to meet a demand for newer, bolder flavors that are kind of out of character for hops that are bred in Germany. And in fact, they bred this one off of a Cascade hop, which is an American hop. So it's interesting to see how the Germans are trying to catch up with American beer culture by having these new, bolder flavored hops. So let's give it a try and see what it tastes like. All right, so that's really interesting. I actually do get that aroma of white wine, which is really unexpected. I thought it was gonna be one of those things where they say, oh yeah, it has this white wine flavor and aroma to it, and I'm actually getting it, which is kind of bizarre. I mean, I guess that's why they named it. Also getting the sweetened tropical fruits. I feel like I get like a little bit of cherry in there maybe, and some mango possibly. It's really subtle, but it's definitely there. But it's very nice, pleasant, sweet fruit aroma. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely get that white wine flavor. It's like a dry grape, like a dry white wine. Just a little hint of tropical fruit, a little hit of stone fruit. To be honest, this is not what I expected. In a good way though, there's a lot more of those bold fruity flavors in here, which like I said before is really uncharacteristic for a German bred hop. They typically stay away from stuff like that, but like I said before also, in order to meet the demand of newer, bolder flavors, they came out with this. And this has actually been out for almost 10 or a little over 10 years now. But it just shows how they're trying to keep ahead of the trends, keep up with the trends really in American hops and American beers. And it's a really big surprise to have a hop like this coming from Germany. So it's excellent, first of all. Second of all, it's surprising. And third of all, it just makes for a really great beer. Definitely interesting in a Pilsner though. Not a typical hop you'd use for a Pilsner for sure. I'd actually like to experiment with this in some of our like juicy IPAs or hazy IPAs, just to see how this kind of melds in with those. So the reason we went with a Pilsner is because, German hops, that's what you think of. But I think this would be really good in a lot of different types of beer other than Pilsner, even though it is still very, very good in this Pilsner. And it's a different Pilsner that you won't get anywhere else because it uses this type of hop. So it's really interesting. It's almost like, I don't know, I would almost describe it as like a, not a, hazy Pilsner, like a juicy Pilsner, but the flavors of those juicy beers into the base of a Pilsner. So, a little drier, a little crisper, but it just makes those fruit flavors kind of come through more. Now they're subtle because, we kept it calm because it is a Pilsner, but they do come through more, which is really interesting. So it's actually a really good beer. Definitely not, I wouldn't call it German for sure. I wouldn't really call it anything. It's kind of its own beast. So you really have to try it to understand. And so I encourage everybody to come in and give it a shot. Yeah, it's really good. Really interesting. So stop in today. Single hop Pilsner Hallertau Blanc. on tap now for the first time this week. Thank you.